Fall has come to Millwood, the city where Richard Anderson lives. A city neither small nor large, simply a normal community where people live together.
People live together? Hope he's talking about ice cream socials.
This is the story of one day in Millwood, just any day.
Which is why it's being filmed using taxpayer dollars right now.
All is quiet in the Anderson home. Everybody is asleep. It is still some time before Richard has to get up for breakfast.
So why are we already in his bedroom, Mr. Narrator?
Many are at work, doing things for other people. Things which mean a great deal to the others, including Richard himself.
Richard's favorite clown Wizzo has been working on his mumble-filled material all night long.
With fresh milk. And long before daybreak, Richard's milkman picks up the milk and delivers it to the Anderson home in time for breakfast.
Too bad all the Andersons have in the kitchen is a crust of bread and an old can of baked beans.
Have been baking the bread for today. Bread which the delivery man now takes to stores and homes.
All while accompanied by his new friend, the angel disguised as a reporter.
Long before stores and schools open, trucks are bringing food for Richard's dinner into town from nearby farms and distant places.
Richard's dream of growing up to be a truck farmer seems to be in safe
hands. From the refrigerator truck, the butcher is already unloading meat. Some of it will be on Richard's table today or tomorrow.
Some of it will be used to battle Word Girl this afternoon.
Always at work. All night long in the telephone building, operators have been busy at the switchboards putting through telephone calls that people need to make during the night, perhaps to a doctor or to a fire station.
Or to vote for Reuben Studdard.
In the city's water plant, pumps are running day and night to keep Millwood's reservoirs filled. Men keep checking gauges so that Richard or anyone else can be sure to get water at any time.
If these men truly wanted to, they could take Richard's very life in their own hands. But no, they have mercy and choose to keep the water flowing.
At the post office, men work all night sorting out the mail for each mailman, so that the letters will be in the right place when Richard's mailman comes to work in the morning.
But who sorts the mail for this mailman's mail sorter?
At the newspaper office, men and women work hard to meet the deadline for Millwood's morning paper.
Their job security is surely insured until the sun ceases to shine.
Already riding down the street and delivering the paper to Richard's home. But for Richard, the day is just beginning.
Unlike the newsboy, Richard is a lazy sack.
Every morning on his way to school, Richard sees the people of his community going about their jobs.
These voyeuristic tendencies of Richard's will last well into his adulthood.
It is to keep the electric lines in Millwood in good repair.
We are the linemen for the county.
Richard has really never stopped to think how people of his city depend on each other. Take this grocery store. His mother shops here, and he often comes to buy things from Mr. Shore, but he has never thought what the city would be like without a grocery store.
No grocery stores!
There were no shoe stores in his community. Or no furniture stores. It's easy to see that the people who work in stores in the city are doing important work for their neighbors.
At least the workers tell themselves that to get through each and every life-sucking day they spend in retail.
There must be ways for people to go from one part of town to another. Some go by taxi. Some walk, of course. Many go in their own cars. Even more people use buses. They are a little slower, but easy to use and cost less than taxis.
If you don't mind putting your life in the hands of a scruffled man who smells like last night's whiskey and has nothing left to lose.
In Richard City. Of course, there are bigger buses that go to many parts of the country. They stop in Millwood, too.
Only to carry off another load of people whose only goal in life is to leave the town that contains the unempathetic sociopath that is Richard.
People, freight, and mail.
Why don't they look?
Trucks carry mail to the post office from the station or from the helicopter field. Helicopters bring mail to Millwood from nearby suburbs and towns. They need little space to land on. That's why they are good for carrying mail.
Yeah, for the aforementioned average-sized town, I'm sure that's plenty of space for every citizen's mail.
Is on the city's outskirts. Many people come to Richard City each day and many leave it by airplane.
Emphasis on the many leave it by the narrator
Richard
there.
has never thought about it, he too has an important job in his community. The job of going to school so that he can learn some of the things which will make him a good citizen when he is ready to take his place in the community.
A job so special it's done by every other child in the country every single day.
Many people in the community depend on him, and he in turn depends on many other people.
Except for Richard's brother, the city's only basement-dwelling weeb.
People who work in offices, writing letters or keeping books. Some of the people are craftsmen, and some are professional people, such as doctors and lawyers.
Well, passive-aggressive slam on the craftsman right there.
Many are housewives whose jobs are to manage their homes and take care of their children. Whatever a person does helps in little ways or in big ways to make his community a good place to live.
Though any city containing Richard has already failed on that front.
For the city itself. The mayor was chosen by the citizens to run the city government with all its departments, such as the police department. Policemen help make the community a safe place to live in.
But randomly abducting the children of the city's housewives.
Quickly and safely. It is their job to see that people obey the laws of the city. Even though the people have made these laws for their own safety, at times they have to be made to obey the laws.
If we learn to care for the laws, to respect the laws, we'll learn how to care for, to respect our city.
Day and night, to get to a fire as quickly as possible before the fire has spread and endangered the community.
Guess Richard's plan to become the city's newest baker went about as well as you'd expect.
The city government hires men to build bridges and to repair streets and sidewalks whenever it is necessary. Street lights make Millwood safer at night.
Though with Richard around, they're never truly safe.
These lights burning. The city government also helps protect the people's health.
Ha!
It hires men to
sorry,
keep close
tickle in my
watch over
throat.
the city water supply to make sure that the water is pure. Men of the health department inspect places where food is handled.
To make sure no rats are hiding under the chef's hat.
Men of another city department collect garbage and burn it. This too protects the city's health. And there is a city dump for cans and waste that won't burn.
It's also where Richard's future victims' remains will be hidden.
The city also provides playgrounds for children with special equipment like swings and slides and teeter-totters.
Certainly, playground equipment found in every city in the U.S. is quite special.
For the little children, the city has built jungle gyms, and for grown-ups, benches to rest on while the children play.
Benches on which they'll reflect about every choice they ever made that led them to live in Millwood in the first place.
Find enjoyment and recreation. There are other ways too. Tennis courts are popular on sunny days.
Sunny days, playing tennis our way.
Parties and games. And all year round, there's the city library with books and records and films for young and old. This is the church Richard and his family belong to. Here he goes to Sunday school. There are other churches in town for people who worship in ways different from Richard's family.
Richard's family makes sure to ostracize these people, and the favor is gladly returned.
Programs come from this building.
Gah! Hang on, Richard. Just a couple more years and Jim will create the Muppets and save us from this nightmare.
Some men operate the big television cameras. Others control the pictures as they go out over the air. They see to it that Richard gets the right program at the right time.
Meaning he won't be seeing the same horror we just did, right?
The programs
Right?
are fun, and sometimes he learns a great deal from them. Then there are the movies. The Andersons go often to the neighborhood theater.
How did we live before the
One
MCU?
evening every week, Richard's father goes bowling. He belongs to a bowling league with some of his friends. That's
Being
it.
their friend is the only reason Richard's father's 40-point games don't get him kicked out of the league.
At night, when Richard goes to bed, he may have thought very little about his community, what he has done for it, and what it has done for him.
He won't ever learn to care for other people or what their lives are like, hence the dark future he has set before him.
Bread which Richard will eat tomorrow. There's milk to be processed, milk which Richard will drink tomorrow. There's the newspaper to be printed for people to read in the morning, and electricity to be made, and water to be pumped and filtered, and telephone calls to be put through day and night.
Anime to be subbed, fanfic to be written, people to be compared to Hitler in YouTube comments.
Night after night. People working for each other, depending on each other.
And as Richard goes to sleep, not thinking of anyone but himself, I want to thank you all for joining me on my first ever riff. And remember, don't be a Richard and contribute to your community. Good night.